must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, and thank you again for joining us. This is the Editor's Memo. My name is Miriam Mugutu, and on the panel this morning, just the panel I had a while ago, is Professor Jared Unyari, Ajivan Karanja, Douglas Kirimi, and Musa Abdihaji from Isiolo County. And to lead us through this show is Dr. David Matanga from the Political Command Center. Doctor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam. Good morning, the panel, Professor Musa Abdihaji, Javan Karanja, and Dr. Jeff Joseph, who is going to join us all, and Douglas Kirimi. I was listening to parts of your discussion. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much, Miriam. The editor's memo. In the editor's memo, I have picked 4 things. Usually I don't take too long because I want to give time to people. One of the first things that I picked in editor's memo today is the myth and the reality surrounding COVID-19 vaccine. What kills Africa are several reasons. One of them is not knowing what you can say and when you can say it and how you can say it. At least our English or white partners or friends or colleagues, they know what action to take when it is necessary. In Africa, we are all suspicious. We move like suspicious animals, not knowing the direction. Yet God gave us one value beyond the animals in the Mara Reserve Park. We think faster. We look after them, we protect them, we give them food, we give them sanctuary, we give them water, we pray for water for them, for the rain to come. We preserve the trees for the animals because we are human beings. But there comes a time when Africans, we ourselves, started doubting ourselves. Started doubting our own experts, our own doctors. Started thinking, because a theory has been floated by none other than another white person, professor from Harvard, or professor from Oxford, or professor from Canterbury, or professor from London School of Economics, or professor from Makerere University, is not recognized. It is a sad moment for the people of Africa, therefore, to sit and watch. I did not know before this COVID started. I did not know that there is a professor for distance. I didn't know. Maybe, welcome Joseph, you will tell me that there is a professor who teaches distance.
Distance?
Yes, a professor in charge of distance. Mathematics that involves distance is Professor Joyce Wanyenze from Makerere University on the panel of COVID-19 of Uganda. My own cousin, she never told me this until I saw her on TV. She's a professor of distance, in charge of distance. President Museveni called a team of professors and experts to advise him on distance, on hand washing, on masks. So he put up a team. And my cousin happened to be one of those on the team. And when I asked him, I thought you studied medicine. He said, no, I studied distancing, social distancing. What does it bring? If this disease is here, can it travel how long, how fast that do the vapors or the things that you cough travel to another person? That is the study that professor is an expert of. But thing that has struck me as the editor's memo is the nature of creating a myth around a very dangerous situation. It is a reality that COVID-19 does exist. Like it or not like it, believe it or you don't believe it, it does. It is moving, it is everywhere. It's on those chopped objects, it is on the toilet, it is on the bus, on the bicycle, on the hall, everywhere where you go. If somebody has touched, it will catch you. It is obvious that it is one of the most, I heard you, Professor, quoting very serious texts, which some of us were reminded long time ago. And sorry, Dr. Joseph, you quoted a very nice text from India. I am equally flabbergasted by our African people. When Uhuru Kenyatta goes to do the medicine, to take the job, they were previously saying they are waiting for the president. So when the president takes the job, they have now come up with another theory that, this was a test. But a test, that thing has got 10 doses. The same dose that was put in the president is the same dose that went to the wife, to Ouko, to the acting Chief Justice, to all of them until 10. That bottle contains 10 doses. And it has to be finished, all of it, before you open a new one. So if there is anything that went, how can it not affect all these 10 people? That is a myth, a reality which people must know. So they have created a myth that, this thing is not working. Look, we have fallen into the trap of the Cold War. Miriam, I submit, just as the professor was saying, or somebody was saying on this panel or somewhere, we have entered a Cold War era where it comes from Russia or China is considered as a communist food and you should not eat, even if hunger is killing you. We have come to that level that mercantile capitalism has surfaced, where people are trading on our lives. People are coming that my medicine is the best. Don't take the other medicine. Why can't we have fair competition of delivery of this medicine? Point number 2, Miriam. The editor's memo looks at corruption. I am saddened by a very serious corruption that has taken place in the IEBC. I looked through your papers and I saw 9 million in Dubai for boundaries training to do what? To demarcate the boundaries, to learn how to name boundaries. Look, time has come, as Onyali says, and as I say on this program, unless we bring Waluke style of deterrence, we might not win this war of corruption. When Waluke was given 97 years, how many years? 1 billion to pay, or face those years in jail. The world, every con man, every corrupt man went funny. Miriam, I believe a deterrent punishment would serve to stop a man arranging a school in Kagamega which doesn't exist, selling hot air not only to the villagers but to the parents, to the students, and to the entire nation. Such a man in China would work with zinc and copper. It is the only solution why the tigers of the Eastern Asia have grown. Dr. Joseph, you are an economist yourself. You are an accountant. You are busy. You do books. The tigers of Asia grew because they killed people. Yes, Singapore killed people. The Prime Minister of Singapore sentenced his friends to firing squad. His fellow campaign manager, they created a party together. And they were taken to firing squad. And they were taken to prison for life. And he told them, I am going to be coming to your prison to see you. And I will pay for your families to survive from my salary. But you are not going to serve in my cabinet. Isn't it the time for us in Africa, therefore, to look at that as a deterrent, that some of these people who steal money then come around and say the government is bankrupt? You can imagine a man who has been involved in every corruption scandal in Kenya. His name emerges. One man, the name is there. Even if you are talking from the toilet, the name is there. Even if you have gone for a short or long call, the name is there. The man who says it was not 21 billion, it was 7. Even the 7 today, we can't trace even one single coin. We have a man, a former Minister of Finance, charged alone, lost his portfolio, but the money has been taken. They have given this money to their wives, daughters, opened accounts to their children in London, in Europe, in Italy, in South Africa, in Uganda. They have opened the money. So even if you sentence them or you make them bankrupt, those children will bring the money for them to eat. But the people of Kenya have lost that money of Kimerero and the Merero Dam. Point number 3. I will not leave without talking about BBI and the amendment bill. One of the difficulties of Africa and Kenya is we don't learn where we came from. We learn from where we are now. 2007, 2008, Professor Onyari on this panel will agree with me that there are people still in Kenya who have not recovered from that shock because they have not been reparated. They are still in Kenya, people in Kenya who watch the smoke coming out of their houses where they used to live for 60 years. And some monkey business is going on. They are cooking food. You can imagine you are going to Malaba and you park your car somewhere on the road and look at your house on the hill. The smoke is coming out of the hill. You have healed. You have healed. Is it? There are people in Kenya who need reconciliation, who need reparation, who need restitution, who need healing, who need truth-telling, who need accountability. Koyi, if you don't have accountability, we are soon entering Jerusalem. The traitors will be seen, very many. This is the time of traitors. You know very well that is the time, the days like this, on a Monday like this, that Judas Iscariot was planning to this Lord Jesus Christ. No wonder this week must be taken as a very sensitive week, that people want to displace others, malice others, blackmail others, corruptly take money from others, corruptly take government money. But isn't it the time for us to look back and heal? And look at Germany, which had Hitler. Today, Germany gives us money which we guzzle in this corruption scandal. Today, Germany pays for our seminars, Dr. Joseph. You have an organization here, Germany Foundation, paying for our seminars. Today, Germany sends us medicine. Part of the medicine that Karanja is doubting whether he should go and get it or not is part of the German contribution at the World Health Organization. Germany did not look back. Germany looked back and saw the danger of not reconciling. President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga are two people, even if I go away from Kenya, bye-bye. They did something which is very important, very good. I will be remembered. I remember them of a redemption strategy. You can disagree with Uhuru. You can disagree with Raila Amolo Odinga. Yesterday, Miriam, I told you that there is no crack in the handshake. Raila came out yesterday and said, you have read already, no cracks, there is nothing. They are united and they will be united. There is no reverse to this redemption. Let the amendment pass. Of course, there will be rearrangement. Of course, those who want to rearrange. Of course, there are those who want this power for the sake of power. Of course, there are those corrupt conmen that Douglas keeps on telling they are conmen of the highest degree who go on eating and spitting on the shoes of the people of Kenya. Of course, there are those who did not like Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta to unite. But the legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta, whether it is 10 months left, must be observed. The legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta must be secured. History must take charge that those who did not want Kenya to unite must be condemned in the dustbin of history. Unity of purpose, therefore, falls under the editor's memo. Lastly, Miriam, the most interesting thing is the dilemma of our politics. You are a senator, you are an MP, you are elected by a party to safeguard the interests of the people of your region. You reach the parliament or the House of Commons and turn into looking at the interests of ISIS and start campaigning for ISIS in Syria. What does your party do? They whip you. When somebody says President Uhuru Kenyatta is in a dilemma over the fired senators, I've read something online of that nature. Allow me to say, Mr. President, you are not in a dilemma. For the parties to be respected, for parties to be given integrity, for parties to be given the way forward, a unity of purpose. People who abuse party rules. Yes, there is forgiveness. It's in your hands. You weigh between what tomorrow, how much time is left, and how much time damage will they do. How much damage will they do in the party if you don't take action? How much will they continue to do while they are in parliament if you don't take action? If you dismiss them today, some of the nominated MPs and the members of parliament can be replaced by the party that sent them there. Therefore, I believe Jubilee constitution must be followed. But it is up to the president to decide, is it worth politically mature or immature to send these guys home who have been abusing him, insulting him, belittling his family, talking about his family, even bringing in the names of people who cannot defend themselves. It is my submission that if I were the president today, I will take them on and teach them a lesson to go to that UDA and reconcile later. Because even if you leave them today, they are not remorseful. One of the virtues of being pardoned is remorsefulness. Remorsefulness. I learned one word from Dr. Joseph, resourcefulness. I'm a very good student, doctor, and I don't forget what you said yesterday. Resourcefulness. You can have a body, but when your body is not resourceful, you are useless. You can have millions and millions of shillings, but when you are not resourceful, you are zero. You can have 200 wives. When you are not resourceful, you are still zero. You can have presidency like a Buhari. When you are not resourceful, your people die. You can have presidency like a Paul Biya. When your people die, you are not resourceful. You can have presidency, minerals, like a Democratic Republic of Congo. When your people are not gaining, you are not resourceful. You can have anything. When oil, when you are looking for a hospital, when you are looking for a toilet, like in South Sudan, you are not resourceful. You can have power in Somalia, but when you are not resourceful, you are selling the entire oil to the people, but it is not benefiting the people of Somalia. You are not resourceful. You can have whatever you want in Mozambique, but when you are not defending their people who are dying because of Al-Shabaab, who have entered Poma, Cape Delgado, and other places in Mozambique, Cape Delgado, killing, maiming people, you are not resourceful. You are not resourceful when you have an opposition leader who destroys the party. A man within the presidency goes to destroy the party that he was elected on, turns onto the president, eats him left and right. He is not resourceful. Belittles the presidency, hikes corruption, then turns around to say, it is not me, it is them. I was not involved. Yet all these tenders, these Chinese, were bringing money in the hands of Dr. William Ruto's office. All these administrative errors cannot happen if you are resourceful. If you are resourceful, they will not happen. If you are not resourceful, they will happen. And I submit this morning that those are the areas, those are the pains of the people. Those are the pains of what you have talked. And those are the pains and the messages that this television sends out. Whether 2 or 3 gathered together, as long as they sing the same message, we shall be saying hallelujah to our Maker, God. Don't care about the numbers, care about the message. Whoever picks this message in this day of salvation, on this day of Pascha, when we are moving towards Jerusalem, of betrayal, when people are undermining us, when a man in Kakamega is taking a school which is hot air, in surface, on planets, on planet Mars, and the bank's money for students who come in the morning to pick the money and they find no school. When in India, the Indian government found out that the civil servants were busy taking money from the government, India took steps. Therefore, my word of today is deterrent, 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 deterrent will serve as an example. I submit, Miriam.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Professor. Is there
It's
anything?
amazing. That's amazing.
Very well. Thank you so much, Doctor. I'll start with you, Joseph Nyanchama. Is there anything you'd like to add to that, or a point there the doctor has said that stood out for you? Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. Dr. Masanga, I salute you, sir, today. You know, you have reminded me that you have given the message. You know, when Martin Luther Jr. one time said that God gave me the message and God gave me the method. Dr. Masanga, God gave you the message today and you have given Kenyans the method. In fact, allow me just to comment a statement in each on the areas you touched, if you don't mind. You touched on education, and it reminds me of the former Prime Minister. I hear he came back of Malaysia, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. You know, he realized that if Malaysia had to become developed, he had to be tactful, and he chose the knowledge economy. That is how he developed what we call the multimedia super corridor, which hosted all knowledge of talented Malaysian people, and they evolved the technology. And I want to appeal in the light of Dr. Masanga's statement to our fellow intellectuals in the Republic of Kenya, what a man called Professor Pierre Lehmann, when he was addressing scholars in Rosena, Switzerland, he said that education is not confined on time and space. It is a constant search for knowledge founded on insatiable curiosity. We must be a curious people to find new solutions, and we must be led by our intellectuals. In fact, the problem, Doctor, is that most of our people are overwhelmed and with the past successes. They say, when I was in this university, when I finished my PhD, when I became a professor, that does not add anything. Listen when Professor Jim Collins asked Peter Trucker, the leadership guru, who had written 26 books, he asked him, Dr. Trucker, of all your 26 books, which is the best? My fellow panelists, you know what he said? And answered, Professor Jim Collins, my next one. He never cited the 26 books. He said, my next book. What does it tell us? Let our citizens, especially the scholars, develop a knowledge economy. Do you know we can become developed through knowledge? That is why I quoted this man. When it comes to corruption, it pains me that, you know, there are people who think that when you steal, you become the fittest in society. Let me give them a lesson today. There are two kind of things. There is evolution and there is nature. Mm-hmm. Do they know that in evolution, but in nature, will black blessed out for the resources for nourishment. Those who think that they can steal so that they can become fittest in the republic, nature will pluck you out. because you are a predator and you are depleting the resources where other species rely on nourishment. You know, they think they will survive. That is only from the ideology of evolution. But nature will take care of you. And I want to advise them, when you do things right, you enjoy your memories. Mm-hmm. I am telling you the truth. Ask those who have been arrested and arraigned in court out of corruption. They are agonizing in pain. Point number 3, you talked of PPR. You know the problem, Dr. Masanga? You know the PPI, the people who have called themselves experts. You know the problem with experts is they only know one way. Never become an expert. The President of the Republic is using this instrument to bring peace to the Republic because he took an oath of office to protect his people. 100% I support it. And I want to highlight how Abraham Lincoln behaved when people were saying it is unconstitutional, it's unconstitutional. You know what happened? When people, you know, Lincoln faced a challenge of a very divided nation because of civil war. As Kenya also, we are facing a lot of strife from different tribes after every period of election. This is the question Abraham Lincoln asked lawyers. And this is the question. Can a constitution survive after the nation has been lost? And they went further to say, both a life and a limb must be preserved. But when the limb threatens the life, it must be operated on or amputated to save a life. He likened the Constitution with a limb because it was surviving, it was threatening the life of the person or the owner of that limb. He said, if that limb is threatening the life, it must be amputated. It is on the same context that the BPI came to amend the Constitution, that organ law, which Abraham Lincoln likened it to be like a limb, which is threatening the life of the person who's the owner of the limb. Mm-hmm. And that is why he went further to tell the Minister of Treasury by command to set the treasury bills without even the consent of the Senate and the Congress to finance the civil war. Because he operated under the maximum or purely supreme lex that the welfare of the people is the supreme law. And I want to advise lawyers, because they are experts in everything, who are listening me, especially politicians, lawyers. You know, they think they know everything. Let me tell them. You know, they use 3 tricks. There's one philosopher who said, when the facts are against you, argue the law. When the law is against you, argue the facts. When both the law and the facts are against you, bang the tables and be mischievous. That is what some of them are trying to do. And there are 3 ways. Let me tell them, there are 3 ways of interpreting a statute. Even me as a layman, I can. We know we have one way is the golden rule. The one is the mischief rule. And another one is the literal rule. And when they see the law is against them, they use the mischief. And we are not going to allow. The president must be given a chance to breathe and preserve the livelihood of the nation because he took and out of office.
All right.
I don't see any dilemma. Your Excellency, 100% behind you, this forum, all these panelists, of course, including Miriam.
Okay.
Miriam, I submit.
Including Miriam. Okay, Professor. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, thank you so much, sir. I'll go to our Professor, Jared Onyari.
Miriam, I have said this one before, and I want to thank Dr. Masanga for having brought it out very clear. Let me just have this to say.
Professor, I'm being asked if you could just adjust your headroom a little bit so that you're able to get a good short.
Yeah, I want to say that Miriam, a story is told about a grandson who wanted to test the wisdom of his grandfather, and the father indeed was wise. He took a butterfly, he put in their hands, and then crossed the hand and said, "Grandpa, what I have here, is it dead or is alive?" Because he wanted to say, if the grandpa said it is alive, he will kill it. He will just squeeze it and it dies. He will say that it's alive, he will just open the hands and it will fly. The old man told the grandson, "What you have in your hands is you who knows whether it is alive or dead. I will not be able to know." What I want to say, the people of Kenya, with so many issues facing this country, BBI is here with us. We keep on talking about corruption. You see a government officials getting the public funds, goes and open a secret account for his personal use. Members of parliament trying to take us round and do some so that they get some pay, some kickbacks. IBC moving from here going to Dubai so that they can go to have the demarcation of boundaries as if the boundaries are in Dubai. The power to prepare and to take this country forward. We have told you before and we are saying now and we will continue doing it. Take charge about the destiny of your country. Take charge of the destiny of your country. I submit, Miriam.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Professor Jared Onyari. Jevin Karanja.
Indeed, thank you very much, Miriam, and for the good words from Dr. David Matsanga and Dr. Nyanjama and Professor Jared Onyari. You know, when they speak from elders, and we are learning quite a lot as young people of this country on how we should position ourselves, especially for the future, so that we create a generation that will stand tall against all level of impunity and a champion for meritocracy and good leadership in this nation. Let me say this, Miriam, on the issue of uniting this country under the BBI process is a very good thing. And Miriam, you know where we were in 2007 and 2017 confrontation and conflict because of presidential election. Therefore, the BBI is trying to heal and ensure that as a people, we don't go to that mess again. And we move from our tribal cocoons and we come to a national platform where we can champion for issues that benefit us as a nation, not as a region or as a grouping. Therefore, to me, that is the main reason why I feel like the BBI should not be sabotaged by those people who feel like they are too close to power, like the deputy president, so that they can continue with the system that we have. And we know for a record, even the deputy president have said that the system that we have, a system that breeds conflict, is a system that breeds all kind of confrontation and chaos, because Miriam will not agree, because we agree on our tribal lines. And when our people lost in an election, we see others as they don't deserve to lead. Therefore, it is high time that we work on this mechanism so that we avoid we reduce the sweetness that we have at the presidential seat. We reduce the competition that we have at this presidential ballot. We reduce the pressure, because this is what breeds conflicts. And when we do that, and we shed some duties to the Prime Minister, Miriam, you'll see Kenyans thinking in a national way rather than the regional way, because at the end of the day, we'll be more concerned on what the agenda they are giving rather than the individuals who are running for this position. Therefore, that to me is a very good thing, and we are heading on the right track. And on the fight against corruption, Miriam, Miriam. Nobody should be spared. Like in the dailies today, and Miriam, you know, the official who has a ghost secondary school that does not exist, Miriam. That is so bad, and the law should take it course and ensure that all these ghost projects, ghost schools, ghost workers, and all these means that are used to cover money from the public covers, Miriam, should come to an end. And I think, Miriam, by us referring to this money as public, I think that is why people feel like they need to get, because at the end of the day, public will not question you. These are taxpayers' money. They should, when you go there in public office, they should know they are dealing with taxpayers' money, because maybe we have emphasized on this public thing, and people think that this public money is something that belongs to everyone. These are taxpayers' money, and they should be protected, and all leaders should be held accountable for the responsibility that given, so that we can have a generation and a country that will live to a future generation, and a country, Miriam, that will build to ensure that in future we get good leaders who will fight this corruption, and we get voters who are enlightened enough to make wiser decisions on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jevan Karanja from Nanyuki huko wako na hiyo chanjo ya from Russia, lakini the government has said not yet. So I don't know what's really happening. Go look for the information and come tell us. Douglas Kirimi.
I will, Miriam.
Thank you. Douglas.
Miriam, thank you, Miriam. Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, so we're having
one thing I need to zero on,
Douglas,
Dr. Masanga's touched is the issue of corruption. The person that goes out there, registers a school, and makes sure that, yes, Miriam?
We have a bit of a challenge with your connection, but go ahead. I think we can hear you now.
Yes, thank you, Miriam.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the issue of corruption in this country is very thorny. We had issues of MCAs in this country who registered fictitious schools in Nairobi, and also made sure that they made a lot of money from that, and it was reviewed when the governor was being impeached. This culture of going to corruption on everything, especially even on IBC. IBC today wants to go to Dubai, spend per diem, spend on air tickets, and spend money that is supposed to bring reforms to that institution. Like I have said, Miriam, and I want to pronounce myself very clear to Kenyans, it is to the benefit of Kenya that IBC works. If IBC continues working like a quack that they are operating today, IBC operates like that government institution that waits for budgetary allocation so that they can misuse everything and everyone goes home. But at the end of the day, Miriam, it is about accountability. It's about bringing everyone to account on every coin that is sent on their way to make the lives of Kenyans bearable. Because if, Miriam, these people don't bring accountability to the table, we are going to have a problem, because if IBC do not effect reforms, if IBC does not work properly, if IBC does not perform optimally, we are going to have a problem in this country, and it is the poor people who pay taxes and pay those IBC commissioners and the commission itself who are going to suffer in the long run, Miriam. If elections are embargoed using IBC, or IBC is biased, or IBC is inept and incompetent, it is the poor people of this country, it is the taxpayers in this country who are going to suffer more. It is not our leaders. Our leaders are going to board planes to foreign countries. You have seen this thing with the coronavirus. When leaders get sick, they can be flown to India, but a poor person who gets sick, die in the village, nobody recognizes them, even the chief cannot attend that burial, Miriam. So for us to be able to move on as a country, we must deal with the corruption decisively, and IBC should be stopped from going to Dubai, Miriam. It is a waste of time to go and do a study in a foreign country, in Dubai, when we can be able to do that. Stand here in this country and make sure that our country is working, our institutions are working, and they are working independently as they are supposed to work. But working independently as a commission does not mean you continue perpetuating a culture of corruption that has bedeviled the IBC, Miriam, and other institutions in this country. I submit. Thank you.
Very well. Douglas Kirimi. Musa.
Thank you so much, Miriam. Just my humble submission. It's a human nature, Miriam. It's what Professor Onyari will teach his followers. It is what Professor Nyanchama will teach his grandchildren. Values, Miriam. Integrity. Choosing personality, Miriam, over pretending. I know whatever is happening on the top is what is happening on the ground also, at the bottom. This is a country, Miriam, even with the onset of BBI, we are seeing some people making gains and looting out of it. We've forgotten why we were created, Miriam. We are now advancing our interest in looting even from your neighbor. That is the most bizarre things Kenyans are now living in. You wake up a rich man with food and granaries in your store, with foods in your granaries, I mean, but your neighbor is sleeping hungry. These are the values we've lost long ago, Miriam. And now when you are seeing things happening the way it is happening on the top, we don't have to blame sometimes these leaders. We need to blame ourselves, me and you. What kind of values did we adopt from Quran and Bible in electing these leaders? Did you elect leaders on the basis of 10 commandments and indeed that God is one, or you had to elect him on the basis, you had to elect him or her on the basis that he or she has money? Sometimes, Miriam, we might be saying accountability here and there in front of the court, but the court which no one can be able to escape, Miriam, and I believe in life of resurrection, that we shall never escape the judgment of the God, Miriam. We've lost values. People are stealing left, right, and center. And they are saying mtu wetu narrative. If today I steal, all the Kushites and the Somalis and the Boranas will be behind me. If tomorrow Douglas will steal, all the Mount Kenya people will be behind him. These are the values you've lost, Miriam. And I know the generations ahead of us are all, it is all lost, Miriam, but all is not lost as far as this generation is concerned. And that is the reason why I believe I don't care about other documents or what is being said in BBI as far as Prime Minister's position is concerned. I am only concerned about one article and one recommendation in BBI, building of national ethos and being able to one day, Miriam, make a young man identify himself as a Kenyan and not a Kikuyu and not a Meru and not a Somali, Miriam. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. I think for the interest of time, we shall end here and then we will come back with our next show. Doctor, I don't know if there's anything else we need to add.
Not making noise.
All right. Okay. So we will go. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Miriam, sorry. Thank you very much, all of you. I think we picked up our and I just want to tell our viewers that that is our summary of today, East or West. We shall be running around those 4 pillars and 5 and add more. Thank you very much. I wish you a good viewing in the next show. Coming up next on top of the hour is none other than the People's Court, where Miriam will conduct an in-depth analysis of what is taking place on the topics that matter, the BBI, the 4 agenda, the courts, the corruption, the COVID-19, the preparations of hospitals. How prepared are they? Are we prepared for a surge? How are people feeling on the lockdown? Was it necessary? Yes, it is. Have we stepped down on cleanliness, washing our hands, keeping a distance? Don't travel anyhow, unnecessary. That is what the next topic is and the next show. Thank you very much. I wish to take my place and God bless you. I can see you managed to drive all the way from Kiligoris to arrive here in the next show. God bless you, Miriam. Thank you very much. This station is for Africa, with Africa by Africa. Ciao.
peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.